Hello, I'm Julia Sosa-Rocha, your trusted real estate expert in Atlanta metropolitan area. I've got the latest October market stats and trends for you, along with some important national context. Our goal is to educate and empower our buyers and sellers so you can make a confident decision. Let's dive in. Active inventory is up significantly. Nationwide, homes for sale have risen 17% increase in active listings year to year as of September. Our local MLS data shows a similar surge around 28,000 Metro Atlanta properties on the market, about 21% more than a year ago. In other words, buyers now have more choices and more negotiating power than they did last fall. More choices for buyers. With inventory climbing, buyers are not forced into bidding wars as often. You are more likely to find a home you love at a fair price. Homes are sitting on the market longer. You can see it in the chart below. Challenging market for sellers. For sellers, more competition means homes must be priced and presented carefully. In many neighborhoods, smart pricing has become crucial. According to a local report, about 1/3 of sellers cut their price at least once this summer in order to attract buyers. Make sure your home looks its best to stand out. Overall, supply is returning towards balance. Nationally, this has cooled buyer demand a bit and houses are taking longer to sell. The typical homes on the market was 62 days in September, which is up a week from a year ago. In Metro Atlanta, data shows the median days on the market is now about 67 days, up from 54 last year. Prices and sales, motors growth mixed by location. Home prices nationally and locally are still growing, but much moderately than in the past few years. Economists expect flat low or single-digit gains rather than sky-high jump. Median sale price is about $400,000, up about 2.3% from a year ago. That's well below the 10 to 20% gains we saw in earlier boom years. So sellers shouldn't assume last year's pricing. Keep in mind the market is uneven and desirable areas still see steady demand while others are cooling. On average, more homeowners are making price cuts or incentives to close deals. Nationally, the National Association of Realtors (NAR) found existing home sales were up 1.8% year over year in August 2025, and median home prices rose about 2% to about $422,600. Inventory is rising. NAR notes housing supply was up 11.7% versus last August, which is a big shift from earlier shortages. Buyers have room to negotiate. Sellers need to be realistic. Different pockets of the country are moving at different speeds. We are seeing a regional divide. Sun Belt and West markets that saw huge gains are cooling, while some Midwestern and Northeastern areas remain tight on inventory and prices. But even in Atlanta, we are in that balanced market phase that many experts call a healthy slowdown. The days on every home selling immediately are over, but that also means fewer crazy bidding wars. Now, let's look into economic and Fed factors, mortgage rates and outlook. Interest rates. The Fed is the talk of the town. Right now, the Fed's policy rate is not directly the mortgage rate, but it influences market expectations. Mortgage rates have already eased from their peak. Freddie Mac notes that in early October of this year, 20-year fixed rates settled in at their lowest level in about a year. In fact, expectations of future Fed cuts are building. Some forecasts even have rates potentially dipping below 6% by late of next year. Lower rates would further boost affordability. Bottom line, if mortgage rates ease in the months ahead, that should give a boost to home buying demand while keeping the market from stalling out. Economy and jobs. Inflation has cooled a bit, back towards the Fed's 2% goal, and unemployment is steady. Job growth is still moderate. This is one reason the Fed has been patient. But the labor market remains relatively strong. In Metro Atlanta, for example, there are more than 3.1% million non-farm jobs, a record high up from last year. Healthy local economy undeepens housing demand. Of course, talk of a recession lingers. About 2/3 of Americans think one is coming soon. Uncertainty can cause people to press pause on buying big-ticket items like homes. That's why I emphasize clear data, so you won't be paralyzed by headlines, but will act on the facts. Government shutdown risk. One more headwind. On the national stage, the recent federal government shutdown had ripple effects. NAR warned that a prolonged shutdown halts programs like flood insurance and FHA USDA loans, complicating roughly 1,400 transactions per day nationwide. It also delays the HUD rental aid and community projects. Fortunately, these are temporary disruptions, but it's a reminder that external factors can add uncertainty on the market. If Congress acts quickly, these programs' legs should clear up soon. Key takeaways: what it means for you. Overall, we are transitioning into a more balanced market for your clients and for you buyers. Inventory is finally high and mortgage rates have pulled back from their peak. That's a win for buyers. You have more time to shop and to negotiate. If you are waiting for the perfect time, it's now worth exploring your options. Lower rates on the horizon and only modest price growth means today's market is far from most expensive era we've seen. Take a look at this chart. For sellers, don't expect that last year's sales market when pricing your home. Both buyers and sellers, communication is everything. With so much noise about interest rates and the economy, having a trusted advisor is the key. Clients rely on us as the trusted real estate advisors to interpret this data. We now have access to great tools like the data stats and charts to educate our clients. For example, we can show sellers that homes are sitting 24% longer than last year in Atlanta. So realistic expectations win the day. Thinking of selling? Let's chat about how your home fits the new market. We can run a quick CMA, which is called comparative market analysis, and discuss pricing strategies. We have more buyers now who are waiting on the sidelines for a deal. And if your home shines, you could get multiple offers and even like strong offers. And if you're looking to buy, I can help you lock a great mortgage rate and find the home that meets your needs. We have a lot of listings to choose from, so we'll refine your wish list and act fast on new arrivals. If you have any questions or want a personalized consultation, I am here for you. Call, text, or email me. Let's turn this data into your advantage. Thank you for tuning in to this market update. Here is to inform decisions and successful fall selling season.
We are making your real estate dreams a reality. Partner with us for exceptional results.